Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. I am going to share with you something that is probably going to be the knife of the year. The most innovative thing that you probably have seen or I have seen in 2024. And something that is literally knife history by someone who has already done that for the last 2 years in a row. I am, of course, talking about Brian Winter from Winterblade Company. This is going to be the Severn. If you're not familiar with his other knives and before I even unbox this, why I'm calling this probably the knife of the year, you need to check out my videos for the Factor. There'll be a link right here. And for the Mirage, there'll be a link right here. Basically, everything he makes is very unique with the locking mechanism, the materials, the design, his use of rare use magnets and his other designs. There's a lot of reasons why, and we're going to get into a lot of that here. Okay, so first off, when I got the Mirage, and I feel like the last time I got his stuff, it was actually came in a black plastic hard case, but this time it's not. I really like too that of course, his gimmick is usually that everything is some kind of based on with magnets. And he, instead of sending a sticker, he sends you a magnet, which is very cool. I'll go right on one of my boxes. So cool. So this is the Severn. Came out, this is the first production run of it. I got one of the more unique designs. There were a lot of designs out there. I got one of them, I got the most expensive one because if you're going to get a Ferrari, why would you get the base model? um, yeah, and I like the green too. Oh man, and I can. This is bigger than the Mirage and the Factor. I can already tell that. I love this turquoise green type color. And do you guys see what's peeking out there? That's very strange, Sharp Ends. It is very strange. Unique first kind of lock in the world. This is called a stealth lock, and it almost like a shark lock, or a pivot, a spine lock, but it's on a pivot, and it's connected to a bar on a compression, spring. So there's no omega spring that's going to break on this, right? And you can deploy it multiple different ways, which we'll get into. But first, let's take a look at this blade, okay? Yeah. Oh, that action was really nice, by the way. This is laser bacon, like bacon Damascus, but with a laser etching on it. And look, the clip matches. Solid lines up here, and then micro etches down here. Ooh, baby. So it acts like a bar lock. It's fully ambidextrous too. Oh, and look, when you pull the lar bar, it's just like this is ceramic inside of their bearings. Oh yeah, very nice. So you can deploy it like that, right? Finger flick, thumb flick. You can deploy with a bar lock. You can deploy with a spine lock. Lots of different ways to do it. And you even get a little bit of a ting. I love unique sounds. Like this guy here, the Factor. You got that beautiful ting, right? This is all magnetic detent and everything else. Okay, let's break this down, okay? I hope you guys stay with me to the end of this because I've got a lot of thoughts here I've written down. I've been looking forward to this knife for 6 months. This was on pre-order for a very long time. And if you could like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, I'd really appreciate it. I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I actually organized them, so I'm going to go through all of that. This is a new lock. This is this stealth lock is new, and every single thing that Brian does is new and different. If you follow him on Instagram, or if you just go to his Instagram page and you look through his videos, he has ideas. He's probably got 101 design ideas for new things that are innovative, never been done before. And this has never been done before. He has taken something which is a bar lock and the spine lock, which is kind of comparable to a shark lock, yeah? And he's combined the two of them, and he's done it better than most companies can do just one of them. Now, this isn't a review. This is just an unboxing, okay? But I've been really excited for this, right? Now, a lot of people with a shark lock, this is always proud, right? It's always up there. And some people don't like that. I don't mind it so much. But here, it just disappears. Now, you'd say, well, isn't access to that going to be hard to get to? Well, no, because he's got just a little bit of jimping here, and it makes it super easy to grab it and get it to close. And you can see here, when I pull back on the spine lock, you can see it. The blade just, oh, that's the back of the blade. Yeah, that's the back of the blade. Okay. Huh. I don't know if I'm going to take this apart or not. We'll see about that. I took apart the Factor and changed the detent magnets on it, and that was one of the craziest disassemblies I've ever done. I'll try to put a link up here for that. You should definitely watch that. It's fun to see me suffer so much. So super hard to take apart. This is going to be super easy to take apart. You can see it's a bigger knife than his other knives, and I like that. I like that a lot, honestly. Do I have my tape measure down here? I don't have my tape measure, but the cutting edge on this, the overall length of this is 7 3/4. I know that because I was looking at the specs just before making this video, and the cutting length, I believe, is 3 1/4 or 3 1/2. Woo-wee! So this is the most expensive version of this knife. He does make it in G10 and aluminum with 14C28N. And just to say, well, I want to talk about the pricing later. So he does a lot of different materials. If this is not your jam, he does other things. Is it for pre-order right now? I don't know if there's any pre-orders open right now for any of his knives, but you can go over to his website and check it out. What else do we want to compare this to? Let's compare this. Do I have? Oh, I don't have that there. Well, okay, fine. Spidey Chef. That's a strange comparison. What else can we compare this to that you guys might be able to look at it and say, oh yeah, okay. This is XM18. About the same size as XM18, right? So, yeah. All right, so this lock is just really cool and strange, right? And one of the reasons why it's so expensive is because this is unique. The OEM on this is Best Tech. The way the machining, all the different parts, if you were to get this as an OEM and then you had to machine all these different parts together and get it to fit so perfectly, and this version here is titanium with M390, it is going to be an expensive build no matter what you do. Getting the price of this down to, $75 is basically impossible. This was like $380, and I think the cheapest version, which is aluminum with 14C28N, is $180. That being said, this is so unique in so many different ways. So the ceramic ball bearing is a little bit larger. It looks like it wouldn't be comfortable in the hand, but having used his other designs and the boxy kind of futuristic shape to it, I can tell you from experience that there's multiple different ways of holding this. Choking up with this large finger choil area is very nice. It is comfortable. There's no hot spots to this, and everything's very nicely chamfered and rounded in some way. It would be cool if there was some texture here. I think with the Factor and the Mirage and the latest batches of those, he has added some texturing to the handles. But that being said, this looks really nice, and because of the way that it's machined, it's not going to slip out of the hand at all. It weighs about 4.5 ounces, which makes it a heavier knife, but still, I think it's going to be very comfortable. I'm not going to have a problem with it. So all of his knives have a magnetic component, right? The Mirage is an assisted opening knife, so almost an automatic, but made with magnets. Magnetic detent, unique deployment methods, unique locks, right? This whole thing is a magnet. Well, where's the magnet on this? The magnet on this is on the thumb stud. And what I have read is that so that you can take the thumb stud and put it on the side. Could he have made a and that's a rare earth magnet on this thumb stud right here, which holds it in place. From what I've seen from other people, it's not going to move. And the rare earth magnets that he uses are very good. So you pull out this tab right here, and then you can take off this ring, which is the rare earth magnet, and then you can switch to the side so the lefties can enjoy this as well. And, the clip, which is a titanium clip on this version, is reversible and can come over here, and then lefties can enjoy this as well, which I think is great. So I'm going to put this back on. So that, that is his that is how he incorporated a magnet in this version. This is much more about the locking mechanism and the other things that he did for this. Okay. These are T8s all the way around, body as well as pivot, which I really appreciate when we have a larger T8 and it's all the way around, makes it easier to take apart, not switching bits all the time, which is great. The blade shape is, this sheep's foot, which is a very Brian Winters thing. This shape looks very utility, for day-to-day life. This is probably this sheep's foot type blade is what is going to be the most useful to an average Joe, right? However, I usually like drop points more. Or different blade shapes in this. Not always. I actually like the sheep's foot a lot, but I wouldn't want this in a drop point or a different version. This is just very Brian Winters. God, I love that sound. Very nice. And of course you can deploy it like that. Oh yeah. This is going to stay in my pocket. This is going to be really hard to get out of my pocket for a long time. And I'm going to have so much fun handing this off to my friends who, that they're just going to be super impressed with this. I can already tell. So the laser baked etching, very nice on the M390. That's just different. If you don't like this style, like he said, he has other ones. I'm not being sponsored, by the way. I just love Brian Winter, and I love that this is so freaking unique. When you're doing a lot of knife reviews and you're going through and stuff like that, like everything is the same and it's like the same old, same old. So when you get a chance to hold something that is unique and it feels like a part of knife history, you get super excited. And that's why I'm super excited about this. Deployment's unique, or not unique, but it's great to deploy in lots of different ways. This clip, I love the way that it matches over here. It's this hunk of titanium that's been milled out. Again, you can't do that cheaply. The sensory overload on this is just phenomenal. Like, when you're holding a knife, a practical knife, what's a practical knife? When you're holding a $50 knife, which is absolutely awesome, right? Like, this is an awesome Kyrix, right? This is great. Liner lock, $50, milled titanium clip. This is awesome, right? This is all you need in life. This is the only knife that I need to use for the next, lifetime, right? But I love being a collector of knives, and I love something unique. And as much as I love the Kyrix and carry it all the time, when you get a chance to own a piece of history and play with something so nice and unique, it ticks all the boxes. It just makes you feel good. I think that, you could not make this. Again, you could get the cheap version, the $180 version, which for 14C28N and aluminum handles feels ridiculously expensive, but I think that there's still value there. But then again, I would argue that you should just go whole hog and go ahead and spend the other $200 and get something that is like this, because if you try to reduce this just to the pieces, right, the aluminum M390, blah, 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 and you say, oh, well, I could get X knife for $150 that has the same amount of materials and it's going to be fine. Well, yeah, you could. But is it the same thing? It really isn't. The design aspects of this knife are so different and so unique that you can't sit there and tell me that other knife is going to bring as much joy into your life. If you're a true collector, it's going to bring as much joy into your life as this guy is going to do. I mean, oh God. I'm a big fanboy of Brian Winters, obviously, and you definitely need to check out his other knives and check out my other videos about these guys. But anything that he makes and he produces, I am going to be buying. These are his 3 knives, and they are all batch 1. So as soon as he drops a batch, I am there, and I'm there with him. I'm there for it, and I'm going to try to get, a cool version of that knife. This is one of the few knives that the billboarding, in other words, the writing on it, like this is on the hand. It's called the Severn, right? This is one of the few times where I really appreciate the billboarding, because this feels so unique and so cool to me. Yeah. So these 3 knives are 3 of the best knives in my collection, and gosh, I just can't get over how nice this feels in the hand. And I love being able to choke up like that. I'm definitely going to be using the crap out of this knife. By the way, there's no detent lash, and it feels like when it gauges, there's that little ramp right there, kind of like what you get with typical bar locks. It feels good. The detent feels really good too. I also like how he's done this etching here, or the cutout here for the finger, and it drops down there. Just a unique shape. I really like that. No detent lash, like I was saying. No pivot lash. Very, very nice. Um, yeah. What do you guys think about this? Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy. So I think this is going to be the knife of the year for 2024. There were, these knives were sent out to a bunch of different people last year who are bigger reviewers than me. Obviously, I'm a very, mom and pop, small little reviewer. I pay for everything myself. And I was really jealous when I saw them holding this and calling it the knife of the year for 2023. I was like, it's not the knife for 2023 because the consumers have not been able to get it. Like, you are looking at a pre-production model, and that is awesome. But that doesn't mean it's the knife. This is a 2024 knife. They're already done batch 2 orders, and I'm sure that batch 3 will be coming out soon. Pay attention to his website. Take a look for that. If you don't have these other knives, I would suggest at least looking at the Factor. If you want to be a completionist, look at the Mirage. But this Severn is awesome, and I so look forward to whatever next Brian is doing. He's got some crazy, crazy things on his Instagram account. Again, go check that out. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you want to help support this, make this this content, please go to the link down below and follow it. And you will, for Patreon and for $3 a month, you get entered to win a knife every month. So thank you so much to my Patreon crew. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.